So my name is Chuck Smith, and for my senior project, I did the Senior Project Showcase. It took place in the Millis High School. For my essential question, what are the necessary steps to successfully run a senior exhibition day? I wanted to make it better than last year because, honestly, I really enjoyed it my junior year. So what is the Senior Showcase? The Senior Showcase is an opportunity for the seniors of Millis High School to share their efforts and contributions to the school with their underclassmen and their peers, because not everyone really knows, what your classmates did. Maybe you don't talk to some people. It's cool to see what everyone did. So why does this event matter? Well, in the short term, it allows seniors to show off their contributions, and it lets them get the recognition they deserve. I feel like the senior project is kind of just something that goes unnoticed, and I wanted to make it noticed. And long term, what it does for the students in the school is it educates underclassmen on the senior project, and it allows them to see what they're going to be doing in their senior year of high school. It kind of gives them ideas and lets them see what they're going to have to do themselves. So, my involvement. I wanted to be a part of the process that made it happen, not just a person watching it. So, I personally got involved because of what the Senior Showcase did for me last year. I thought it was fascinating that I got to see all the seniors contribute something to their school in a different way. And I wanted to give that opportunity to my peers, and I didn't just want to make it happen, I wanted to make it better, like I said. So I had a few initial thoughts. I had some expectations for myself, and I also had some uncertainties going into it. So for expectations, I wanted to make it better than the year before. I know I'm going on like a broken record. I also wanted to captivate students, so it wasn't just another school activity, but rather something fun and something that was worth their while, because sometimes students feel like it's a drag or they just believe that, it's just another school activity. I didn't want it to be that. I also wanted to motivate my peers to do better with their projects by giving them something to work towards, something to share. But with that came uncertainty. So I knew it wasn't going to be easy. I was kind of worried that I may not be able to pull it off how I wanted to. Maybe I set the bar too high for myself. But I was willing to take that risk, and I was willing to work harder to make it happen. So, for my first steps, I started with meeting with my mentor, Ms. Bartley, and I wanted to figure out what I needed to do to get started. We discussed who would play a crucial role in my project and who I needed to, become acquainted with, who I needed to talk to just to get the ball rolling. And we kind of created a timeline of what needed to happen. It was just a rough sketch. And we tried to figure out what would happen when, like each month, each week, and it kind of kept everything on track and led up to the presentation. After meeting with Ms. Bartley, I met with Ms. Copice, and her and I brainstormed like ideas that we could make it better, and we came up with a lot of ideas. There was a lot of brainstorming going on, and some of them even stuck. But overall, I wanted to get stuff done, but I wanted to make things, better. Here's an email to Mr. Nash asking about when I could use the school, basically, or when I could use everything, and he said I could. So, some early challenges that I faced. I had two different types of challenges that I had to face when setting up the exhibition. I had some challenges with miscommunication between Ms. Bartley and Ms. Copice. I wasn't sharing the ideas and the things I was doing. So on one end, I was doing, something for the kids in classrooms, and then on the other hand, I was, coming up with some ideas that I want to implement, but I didn't talk to both of them, and I didn't communicate what I wanted to do, so there was some confusion at first, but we met, and we got over that hill. Another challenge I faced was an organizational challenge. I realized there was a lot to do organizing my project and, making it happen. I feel like getting feedback from students, grouping them where they needed to be, it was quite a task, and it took way more time than I anticipated, but I got it done. Maybe the cause of them not doing it was they didn't respond or they wanted to change spots. Sometimes it just all got jumbled up. So for final preparations, this was before the day. For Flex Block, I worked with Ms. Bishop to create Flex Blocks so everyone could sign up for whatever activity they wanted to. So there was like the gym, the cafeteria, they all had different sections. And she was really helpful with that. She helped out a lot. And then I also worked with Mr. Nash and Mr. Engler to set up the cafeteria and the auditorium. This was my planned layout for it, but we had a little mishap the morning of. The custodians thought that this was over, so they took everything and they put it back. And so I had like 15 minutes to move everything, and we got it done, but we got it done in a pinch, and it didn't look as good as it would have, but that's all right. So the day of the event, I noticed some things about the environment. I felt like the environment was very good. I walked around, I saw people smiling, I saw people enjoying themselves. When I went outside, everyone looked like they were having fun, and everyone was getting to participate in different activities. I went outside and Jess Kramer was getting pelted with color bombs or whatever. I just let it happen. I didn't touch it. They looked like they were having fun. And I feel like there were not really any problems with rotations and keeping people in their places. So next is my role. I feel like I acted as an overseer, just walking around, taking pictures, making sure everything was going right without a hiccup. During my project, the way I felt like there was no better way to describe it than like a proud father watching my kid succeed, because I saw it happen and I was like, yes, it's finally happening. And it went way better than I expected it would. But yeah, overall, I made sure things ran smoothly, and I made sure that there were no problems. So here are some of the outdoor spaces. We had the gym, we had the track, we had the sand volleyball court. We also had the football field. There was some stuff going on there. I feel like it was a big success with all the students. There was plenty of engagement, and it seemed like everyone had fun. Each station was unique and had something different to offer, which I thought was really cool. And it kind of gave students an option to pick something, fun and exciting, but that fit their tastes. Here were my classroom sessions. This is Marina's classroom. This is Christina's classroom. The classrooms were more focused on teaching and specific topics that students may not have chosen or probably would never learn about in like everyday school. So there was like a bunch of art classes. There was Fadi's History of the Coptic People, which I thought was really cool. Not many people attended it, but I sat in for a little bit, and it was honestly really interesting. So I thought the classrooms were a great chance to educate students on things that they may never pick or never learn about. The last spot was the cafeteria and auditorium. So we had the auditorium where we had speakers presenting slides, and then we had the cafeteria where there were, physical displays and poster boards and slideshows. And I feel like that was just my favorite spot to be, like in between these two, because it allowed seniors to present their work to a decent sized group while not overloading them. You know, one was a poster board and one was on stage, but I feel like they kind of went hand in hand because they had the same kind of pressure and the same opportunity. But yeah, so, and even though, you know, my auditorium people were reluctant because they were nervous, they still got it done. I think they did a great job. So, Vision of a Graduate, how did my project relate to it? Well, I used a lot of communication throughout the project. I mean, I had to talk to so many different people and get so many different things done, send a lot of emails. And then collaboration. I couldn't have done it without everyone that helped me. Miss Bartley, Mr. Bigelow, Mr. Nash, Miss Bishop, Miss Bernard, everyone. And my reflection. I learned a few things. One of the most important, there's a lot of planning and organizing that goes into events. And it kind of, you know, I started to respect things like concerts and things like that. Like, it's kind of ridiculous how much planning it took, and it is impressive. And what I hope for the future, I hope to see this project run again. I really want to see a rising senior, maybe a junior or an upcoming a sophomore, take over this project and make it better than I did, and just keep making it greater. And, you know, in an ideal world, I feel like this would be a part of the senior project itself, making it happen, but, you know, it is what it is, and for now we have a senior to fill that role. And that's it for me. Any questions?